Well, hello, hello. It's Tuesday evening, and you know that's when the sweet tooth hits me, and it hits Mama too. So I thought, well, what can I do that might make something good for us to eat? So I decided, I thought, I've got crescent rolls that kind of got stale, because we didn't eat them all this weekend, and I didn't freeze them because of all my medical problems. I forgot. So I'm going to take several of these, and let me get my rose chest platter out of the way. Got to move it. Don't want to break that because of my dishes. Let me get me a little cutting board here. My Picolius cutting board. Nothing better than these Picolius cutting boards. Alright, so let's just get us some of these out. We got a pretty big pan. I'm going to put in that panini pan, so I might as well just use all of them. I can, I think so. I really think I can. So we'll just take these croissants. And let me get one of my knives here. Now, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to preheat your oven 350. Let me get me a bowl. A bowl. I'm going to cut these like in 1-inch chunks. Put them in my bowl. Thank you for all your prayers and well wishes and comments. I've been trying to answer them as much as I can. I'm doing some better today and yesterday. It just seems like one thing after another comes around to me. What I mean is, I don't get out of the hospital and then have to go back for something else. I'm pretty tired this evening, but like I told y'all, you have to keep going. You can't sit down. You can't stop cooking. And I don't have no butler or maid to go to the grocery store, so with Mother and I got in the car after I got her bath and got her fingernails polished today. And we went and got milk, and because in Texas and the whole South, starting Friday, it's going to be snow and ice and no telling what else. Booger bears. So that's a lot of croissants, but it's better than wasting them. I've made this before because of the same ideology. Let me clean my board off. I've got those done. Let me get me a bowl. Let me get one of my speckle bowls. My speckle bowls. Okay. So now, I want to get some eggs. Okay, I got my 2 eggs. I'm going to put them in my bowl. Right there. There's one. This is to make you a little custardy. Kind of a custard. Kind of a little custard. And into that, I'm going to add my vanilla. My Mexican vanilla. I'm going to put a teaspoon into that. Alright, I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. Let me get Dolly. Come here, Miss Dolly. Miss Dolly Podden. Remember, I always say Dolly. Dolly. You have to say Dolly like that, so everybody knows which Dolly you're talking about. So we got a teaspoon of our cinnamon. Then I'm going to take some nutmeg. You know I love nutmeg. We'll get me a whole piece of a nutmeg, not a whole one. I'm just going to grate some in there. I don't think the old original recipe even called for it, but I'm putting it in there. Billie Jean and his nutmeg. That could be a good Western song. Billie Jean and his nutmeg. All right, now let's get a pinch of salt. A little bit of salt. That's about a pinch. That's pinched. All right, I think I've got everything in that. Let me get me a whisk. I know I have one here. If I can find it. Right here. We're going to use this whisk. I've had this whisk a long time. I'm just going to whisk that egg mixture up. Now to this, I'm going to add 1 3/4 cup to start with of milk. Now I done took that out of the icebox so I could make sure I got that. Okay. And that may be too much croissant. Let me take some of that out just in case, because you want this custard to go over your bread. And you can add bread, but you can't add croissant. I mean, you can't add. So we'll put our custard mix on into this bowl and add the bread as we see fit. Because you want to dunk that down. Let me get my little push. I'm just going to dunk that bread down underneath that. Let it soak. Let it soak up a little bit. Since those are some of them kind of hard, we'll just soak that down. Kind of like a bread pudding in a way. Probably add a few more. We don't use all of them, we just don't use all of them, but I'm getting some of these softer end pieces. There. You don't have to soak that up. Punch that down in there. Now I can add a little more milk because you can go up to about 2 cups. So let me just go ahead and finish this one out. And then I know that'll give me enough milk. I know that'll give me enough milk. Let's go ahead. That's a hard one. Kind of feel those. They're not too hard. Go ahead and use them. We'll just let that soak for a little bit. Let that soak for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to push that down with this spoon. Make sure I've got it pushed down under there. So it's softening up, and they are softening up, so that's what we want. We'll just let them sit a little bit, and then I'll continue. Okay, so now I'm going to take these dates. I have these dates. Now that will help with a natural kind of sugar. Since we don't need sugar, I'm using the apple pie filling that is sugar free. So let me get these dates cut and I'll be back. Okay, I got the dates chopped up here. I'm going to put them in one of my smaller bowls. I'm going to add some, not a lot, just enough scalding water, hot water, to make them softer. Okay, I've got those dates soaking in water. And now I'm going to take my can of, just my sliced clean peaches. And I'm going to get my little thing here and I'm going to chop my peaches. Or slice them up, I'm going to chop them. Alright, I put my peaches in my chopper, my little chopper. And I'm just going to chop them up. Shake it. I love this little hand chopper after I got it and started using it. See how that's just chopped those to little bits. That's what we want. That's what we want. Now we'll put that in with our shape mixture. Let me get a big spoon. Let's just stir that around. Get some of that syrup down in there. Now, if you think you need more sugar, you can add it to what you want to do. I think, let me get a little test spoon because I want to mess with my spoon that I'm using. I want to just see what this. Let's see, I'm going to use the Great Value apple pie topping. It's building with no sugar, so we're just going to leave it at that, I guess. But I do have, I use the stevia a lot. But you take about that much. Just I'm not even I don't know, not much. Tiny, tiny bit. We'll let that soak with that. Just give it a little more up. Okay, so let's open our apple pie filling. That's the way it looks. I'm going to add it to my bread mixture, my crescents. See there, that's softened up now. My custard and everything's softened up. I think that's going to be really good, y'all. Might add just a hair of a Splenda to that. You can add a little sugar. I'm telling you, it's not even, I can't even measure it because it's, used, but a drop. As we say, it's just, if you do, I'm talking about just a sprinkle. You don't want to get too much, it'll be too sweet. I know that sounds crazy, but it did. When I first started using it, I got to where I had to, now I'm going to add my apples into here, and those are soft enough that Billie Jean can take care of those. I see if you just have crescents, you can do it just the way. You can do it just with your apples, no peaches, no nothing like that. and just do it like this. But I wanted to have a fruit cobbler more or less, and I had those dates I needed to use, and I had these peaches I wanted to use, so that's why we're doing it. That's why we're making our own recipe today. We're doing it. We're doing our own thing. All right, let's blend that in. Mix that in, not blend it. Let that set a minute. Well, let me get me a, I'm going to use this panini, the panini red pan. I'm going to put some olive oil in it so I can grease it. I just rub it around. Grease that. Don't really have to. I've made this in iron skillet and it was good too, so I'm not going to say that you have to, because you don't. I'm just going to put this in there. That's all I'm going to do. Get a spoon. Get that all out of there. That made a whole pan, didn't it, y'all? That made a whole darn pan. Sure did. Now let me get a little bit of, oh Lord, let's see, where is it? My cinnamon. I just want to put a little cinnamon on top. Not much, just a little cinnamon. Let's just do a little baby cinnamon on top. I think that just kind of makes it have a better flavor. I think it looks better. And all that, then I'll put just a hair. I have ground nutmeg. I'm just going to put a little hair of nutmeg. Just so you get that winter flavor. That's what I call it. And if you wanted to, you could, to make it a crunchier, you could do it many different ways. But we're going to put this in our oven, and we'll put it on 350, and we'll bake it probably 35 to 45 minutes, and then we'll see how it comes out. Okay, y'all, I forgot. I've got to put some butter on that. Wasn't even thinking. But you know, we can do that. We can do that. I'm just going to take a little bit of butter and just put a few little dots right on the top. It's already been cooking a little bit. You can't forget butter, Lord. In the South, if you forgot butter, it'd fall apart. The whole union, the whole country. That's my challenge butter. I think that's enough. I think that's enough butter. Yeah, I got the kitchen cleaned up and I thought, Lord, I forgot the butter. Can't forget the butter. So I'll put this back in the oven and off we go. Well, I smell the pie and it's cut off. But I've got to hurry up and make some whipping cream. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my, I don't want a whole bunch. I don't want to make a whole bunch of whipping cream. I just want enough for us to have for today and tomorrow, and I've got this heavy whipping cream. I'm just going to pour it about a cup and a half into my bowl there, and I'm going to take Splenda. Not Splenda. God. See, that's I can't even remember the name of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This stuff. I'm so tired. I'm not going to put but maybe a half a teaspoon. See that? This little bitty bit. You don't need much. That's from that plant. When I remember it, y'all know. Now let me whip this and I'll be right back. Okay, I whipped it a little bit. And I forgot I didn't put my vanilla in it. It's got to have your vanilla. So I'm going to put about a half teaspoon of vanilla in it. Mexican vanilla. Got to have Mexican vanilla. Okay, I got it whipped. See there? That's all it takes. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And put my mixer up in the pantry. Get our beater cleaned off. Now, if I'd have kept going, that'd been butter, a big bowl of butter. Let's taste it. Probably could add just a hair more sweetener. It's sweetened up, and that is not whatever I told you. It's stevia, the plant, stevia plant. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more, just so it. No, I'll mix that just here. There y'all see, that's good whipped cream. Nothing like homemade whipped cream. Ain't got all them old byproducts and mess in it that you don't need. Okay, so now we've got our whipped cream done. Got the kitchen cleaned up. Going to take the pie out. The bread pudding, whichever you want to call it. Well, it looks good. I haven't even looked at it, y'all. I've been busy in that mama. Oh, look at that. There we got it out. We got it out. Now let's feel of it. See, it's firm to the touch. Warm, firm to the touch. That's what you want. That is exactly what you want. I'm going to get a bowl, a little bowl. Let's get I could do a fancy bowl, but we're just going to do a rice bowl. Let's just cut this and see what this. Oh boy, that's something else there, y'all. Look at that. That's something else. Now that's some good bread pudding. Got our peach and our date and our apple. That's hot. Into that, I wish y'all was here to have some of this. Oh, and it smells so good. And it looks good. So let me get a spoon. Let me get Mom a spoon. And I'll layer just a big dollop of whipped cream on the top of that. Now that's some good bread pudding. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. We're going to try to stay out of the bad weather. I hope y'all do too. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.